There is a monastery where a group of strangers became best friends. This monastery is a safe haven, a place between places. It is a place where anyone can enter and feel like they belong. It is a place where the injured can find refuge and become healed. It is a place where weaknesses are shared and are made stronger. It is a light in even the darkest of plains, and anyone can stay as long or as short as they'd like and not have to worry about being judged. They come here when they need to, when it calls to them. But the Monasterium Tempore is not just a place, it's an idea. That anyone can be who they want to be, live out a dream that they want to, and no one can take that away from them. It's a place where magic feels more real than anywhere else. It's a place where a girl who was hurting and scared was able to find a friend and play a game that would change her life forever. For good. This place is heaven. Welcome to the monastery.
Alrighty, well, welcome to the podcast. Hello, world.
Hello, world.
Awesome. Intros, Mortem, want to start?
Sure. My name is Mortem. My twin brother Winston is never here because he does so many other things. Have we been doing this long enough to where I don't need to describe exactly what I look like, or
I don't know. You can do whatever you want. This is whatever we want it to be.
Okay. My name is Mortem, and that's what I'm just gonna go with for now. And there are other people at the table.
Fantastic. I am Elena. I am at the table. I am a monk in this monastery, Mortem and Winston's monastery. We're currently hanging out in the Astral Sea room. Technically, this is a room that we're in. The picture that you see is what we see all around us, is what we are currently floating in. Saranth.
I'm Sranth, and I'm Sranth, and I am the most beautifully handsome weapons dragon that you could ever lay your eyes upon. And I am a teacher here at the monastery. I teach students about artifice. I give them a small seed of whatever knowledge that I may be able to give them.
Awesome. We do have a fourth person at our table today. If Cathrall, if you wanted to say hi.
I'm Cathrall. I go by a lot of names. Gorm, Sarak, Krill, Cathrall, Stig, Split Ear, Casilda, the Kenku. I'm sure there's another one or two, but yeah, I basically I don't have a main character. I just try to make story because I'm not good at role playing, but that's my goal, is to present a good story.
Awesome. Yeah, and we all play a game together. So we are think of it like Dungeons and Dragons if it were real life, what everyday life would be like, and then we write it down as a story, and that's what we do. So everything that we have with our characters and backstory and such is all written down. It's not played at a real table. It's not over any type of voice like this, like a podcast. Everything that we do is written down, and we're trying to make it a book. in the simplest form of way that we can say that is what we're trying to do. Yeah. Mortem and I today, we worked a bit on kind of rounding out what we want in the story, at least for like certain arcs. How do you think that went today, Mortem?
Went really well. Got a lot of like a lot of like the actual story to see it written out overall of what we want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were a lot of things that I didn't remember happening in certain orders, which was really exciting to see just how far we've come with this story that all of us here have contributed to, as far as really the backbone of what this story is. And so now we're trying to get it out there. So for anyone listening that's has no idea what they're listening to, we don't know what we're doing, but we're trying stuff and we're gonna see if it works.
Well, I mean, this story it's been going on for 6 months. So, I mean, there's stuff I've done forgot that I've wrote. I mean, I probably forgot. I would say 50% of the stuff I've come up with. So there's a lot of content.
Yeah. Yes. There's over 7,000 pages of what we have saved from the one server, and then there's a second server, and then the third server, and that's just a whole nother animal. But yeah, we have a lot that we need to edit and read through and cut out and remake so that we're not stealing other people's ideas. And
Yep.
so we have been working on that, and we're trying to get out little bits here and there for people to read and listen to, so it'll slowly but surely eventually be one continuous book story, I guess. Like, yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll just turn the whole thing into a book as well.
Yeah, we definitely didn't come into this game thinking that we would end up doing this, which is why it's so hard to say what we're going to do, because we don't know what we're doing, but we really like what we've done, and we've become friends over it. We've gone through life together through it, experienced things that you can really only do in D&D or in an RPG game, that we have tried to bring to life in these characters so that the characters actually feel real and relatable, and just kind of experience the side of RPG tabletop games that you don't necessarily get to do just because of time constraints, or there's a bunch of other people at the table, so you can't take the spotlight. Yeah. So yep, that's that.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Woo, good job. There's the intro. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. I'm having an off day.
None of us do.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go into the current story that's going on right now. So everyone who's watching is welcome to join our Discord. Oh, I need to change the title of this. Whatever. This is the podcast. I'll change the title of this podcast later. But yeah.
If anyone feels lost while listening to this, just feel comfortable knowing that I am as lost as all of you.
It's fantastic. Yep. So yeah, let's go to the spoiler section. Everything that's currently going on right now. So if you don't want to listen and you just want to enjoy the story that we're going to eventually put out there, you don't have to listen from this point on. So, Saranth, start us off
Yeah.
with the Loxodol update.
So, yeah, I got good news. Oxidol is in a very good position right now. So, it mostly started with the previous leader of science and an unfortunate accident that resulted in their disintegration. But afterwards, we have chosen a brand new chemist who was already just, I think, 19, but now she's the new director of science because she's just that good. She knows what she's doing, and she has been very good with investment. She's been directing everybody very well, and the overall result is an incredible series of breakthroughs in commercial science, biochemical, military, just pretty much every single department has had some sort of positive, tangible outcome because of this. Another thing that happened was that in a nearby country, very small, very quaint, and notably communist, has had a famine, and as a result, they haven't really been keen in interacting with Lux at all because of their suspicions on capitalism. But recently, the famine has gotten so bad that they had to, and trade with them has sparked brand new agricultural investments. I think the entire department has increased in value by like 18.7%, which is phenomenal. Like, even though it's like a literal fucking desert, like a solid 10% of it's radioactive probably, which is overall inhabitable. Despite that, hydroponics is still god. It is amazing. Average disposable income has exceeded 150,000 deniers, which is amazing. I feel like I'm saying that a lot. The average income for the wealthiest 10% has exceeded 1.25 million deniers, which is amazing, and all with an incredibly small population. Like, compared to other nations in the region, not Loxodol is pathetic in its size, but it's still very influential and an economic powerhouse. Like, the only way Loxodol could get any better is with more population.
That is your home plane, right? That's where Zaranth was, or is, I guess, from. I don't know if you were
Yeah,
born
Strength
there,
is from
but
Loxodol.
currently
Hatched.
rules hatched there.
Do half dragons hatch or are born?
You're the one who was.
Yeah, you're supposed to be the expert.
Well, yeah, wouldn't.
Hold on, let's look it up right now.
Oh man.
Either way, Loxodol's doing very
I
well.
want to say
What?
hatched. You've said that you've been a hatchling or whatever. I feel like I don't know. Well, I don't know.
I mean, the canon is that Strength was hatched, but
There you go.
I don't know if that's actual D&D canon.
Maybe he was hatched as a kobold and was genetically modified because he was so rich and could have it done.
No,
Mhm.
no, he didn't. That didn't
Totally
happen.
Okay.
Mhm.
His mom hated him. Although not really, like, they just didn't like him. Or at least, like, none of that motherly love, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Oh. Was that normal for the species? I don't even know. Like,
I mean, it's normal for children of chromatic half dragon, for chromatic dragon.
Mm. Great.
Mm. Okay. Let's see what happened in the. Nothing super big happened in the monastery
Are
this
you
week.
kidding me? Yes.
What?
Something did. We opened a
Uh,
door.
Yeah, there was. I was thinking like overall, there were some personal achievements that were made.
Hmm.
But overall, to the monastery itself, nothing huge happened. There was finally a door that has been sealed shut for a very long time got finally opened. Um, and we were in there for 5 minutes, and then we all left.
Ah! I will never know. I will never know
So,
what's in that room. I've been waiting 5 months for this room to finally open, and then it was like too late, and it was like, well, gotta go to bed, everybody. Like, I was like, we can't do this right now. So
yep.
the legend lives on,
When,
the unknown, the myth of.
mhm. The door is now closed, and someone
No.
else will have to open it up.
I will go back. There was a fun game that was played.
Hmm.
Two fun
Yep.
games. Two. You should talk about those.
Yep. Some people in the monastery played forks is what one game was called. Many of the forks are still hidden within the monastery. Probably won't be found for at least another month. All of them. Um, so we'll see. Let's see. And then there was a card game that we played. That was pretty much it for the monastery itself this week.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I found the line. Nobody finds a fork except for Elena. Even after an hour of searching and for the days to come, nobody would find the forks.
Yep.
Oh, the student just hid them way too well.
Hmm.
That was a fun game. That was fun. Yeah.
Yep. And then the leaders of the monastery for this next week are going to take a break and go on a small vacation doing whatever they want to do. And that's that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mortem and Elena, I'll say, are experiencing trauma from guess what? Being a D&D character, which is something that PTSD is a real thing, and so it makes sense that characters would eventually go through that. And in the monastery, it's also a place where you can go and meditate and reflect and try to overcome those obstacles, those challenges.
Hmm.
And so this is Mortimer and Elena are definitely taking a week to figure out how to do that, how to get past it.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I know that in real life too, like Mortimer and I definitely needed like a mental break from the game. So we are chilling, watching everybody else play. Everyone else is still welcome to continue to play.
And should, because the story doesn't stop when we're not there.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So
And
like
while they're
Zoranth, go
taking a break,
nuts.
I'm contemplating how to make that break completely pointless.
How dare you?
Well, I mean, like good story wise, that's what I mean. I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
to. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
words are hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, there's plenty of other players you can definitely continue a story with, and that's what we're also hoping for
Well,
too. Is
I
people.
have been working on that though.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Saw that.
Yeah.
You've got some.
Should I talk about that
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
or
Yeah. Yeah. Go for it.
so I announced Cathral's death in the deaths chat but no one actually knows he's dead, except for my characters. And then his staff was left behind to, I think it's pronounced like Amuia or something.
Amuhia.
Yeah,
yeah.
Amuhia. Yeah. So Cathral's staff, which is a like an insanely overpowered artifact, like on the level of Orcus's wand almost power, was left behind. And I think she's a cleric, so it's not a big deal at the end of the day. Um,
One of the
but
kindest, most sheltered clerics ever.
yeah, and
Oh no.
surprisingly, the first spell she cast after attuning to the staff was scrying, which was the one spell she was not supposed to ever use. Yeah.
Really?
She does. I didn't tell her that, but no, she was never supposed to use scrying. Like even in the picture, you can tell like that I sent the squirrel's holding a crystal orb or whatever in his palms. Yeah. And I mean that's kind of like I just took that picture off of the Forgotten Realms wiki, but at the same time I did plan to use that as like a lore thing. And I was just like, wow, like right out of the gates, she's just gonna
So well,
and
I had
so
prompted her. I was like, "Hey, if you want to scry on, because I have another character, and I've been trying to like get their story played out, but it's
oh my
like they
god.
can't do it if no one scries on them." So she actually did try scrying before she got the staff, and my character got a nat 20 and succeeded, and so it didn't work. So then the next day she had the staff and then tried it again.
Well,
And then it
the
worked.
staff gave her a +3 to that save, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I guess coincident. I didn't know anything about that. So it just kind of worked out. But so while doing that, while casting scrying, something was able to scry back on her.
What? Oh no.
And
Okay.
right now she's being tormented outside the post office by a very large squirrel throwing a spear at the door over and over, and he's able to recall it instantaneously, just like she can summon and unsummon the staff, just like Catherine was able to. So,
Oh man. We
but
gotta.
so far no one's able been to excuse me. So far, no one has been able to communicate with the Ratatosk. So no one really knows if he's aggressive or just trying to talk. Yeah, that's what's happening in my realm. Sarek is idle. Casilda's idle. Since the Black Star Tavern's been quiet, so I'll just leave him idle for now.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
That's sweet. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. So we've got then the Silver Queen's Manor channels. In the manor, we've had some relaxing days. Mortem's come in a few times and just relaxed for a bit. Nikolai fed Talks a Snickers bar.
Snickers.
And that was so great because Saranth, how you describe Talks at all, like trying to break into this, this wrapper.
Yeah, I don't know why anyone is treating him like more than a kindergartner. Like
it's so good.
Like he's had some training with the previous party,
Mhm.
before they got him, but
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, so I'm seeing if there's
you gotta like babysit him.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta like open it for him, or else he'll choke.
Yep. Let's see. Oh, we had an adventure with Winston and Nikolai and uh, the his girl. Like they went and got Nikolai and Winston went and got a drow friend. I
Mhm.
forget her name, but was Nikolai's friend, not girlfriend, maybe? Question mark. It's unclear.
Yeah.
And then had a interesting conversation Nikolai did in the post office with uh looks like all the cousins or whatever. Willa, is it Willa? Willa is
Mhm.
one of Nikolai's cousins or many relatives and didn't think Nikolai should be there, and so tried to banish him or teleport him home, and Winston wasn't
Yep.
having that. Winston like came in and was like, stop. So that went on. And you hear Scried on a character, Ashok, which was fun for her to see a little bit of what Ashok's been up to. He ran up a wall, which was pretty sweet. That was fun describing that.
Yeah, they do that sometimes.
Yeah, it was
Mhm.
real sweet. Ashok gave up part of his soul. That was a plot point. Yeah, I think those were just some of the things that went on. It's basically like we have these channels that you can go into and you can interact with the setting of the channel. So like you could go to Loxodol and have an adventure. You could go to the monastery and have an adventure. You can go to this Silver Queen's Manor that's out in the middle of, a dim plain, and you're able to kind of see what you're doing, what your character does. So
Mhm.
we provide the place, and then you just come in and play with whoever's on. If people are online and interacting, you can talk with them with your character and have a lot of fun, and if not, that's fine too. Like you can just go read through stuff. You can go out and be creative, draw your character if you want, or add something to our server. Yeah. That's all I got. Yeah.
Mhm. I don't really have anything else to add at the moment either.
Yeah, I
Not
haven't.
me.
I've been very busy, so I haven't been able to come up
Mm-hmm.
with a lot. However, what I have put out there should be interacted with. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I do have an idea of where I want to take things, which is it. I know it's been what, like 4 months since I had an idea, so that's something.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That's
Yep.
all I have.
Yep. Just kind of going with what we're trying to do. Mortem and I are definitely working hard on trying to uh, take a step back from the RP and work on the story, collecting, organizing, because someone needs to do it, and we want to do it, and so we're gonna do it, and so we're doing that, and that, so if stuff happens in the server and we're not there, that's too bad. You all gotta figure out the
Wait, hold on.
mysteries.
Are you talking about like hold on, are you talking about like editing stuff or coming up with future story?
Oh no.
Editing what we already have and putting it
Oh,
into a
if you want to
cohesive
set
story.
if you have like older stuff that I was a part of, I'd be happy to edit that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the newer stuff I wasn't a part of, I wouldn't feel okay editing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
But
mostly.
I'm just putting that out there for you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going through. So we've got a bunch of documents that we have to go through. That it's mostly we need to edit like the
Like,
Discord name.
yep,
Mhm.
Discord names out, grammar, spell checking, all that fun stuff.
Make it feel fluid. People
Yeah.
understand who's saying what without the tag of their name.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Yep, editing some characters so that way they belong to us and not the original players because not everyone is with us when we started doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we can kind of tailor the story more to one flow better,
Mm-hmm.
but two also just like really bring out our characters just like you would in a normal story where you're writing a story about a character. You're not just gonna have meaningless, garbled stuff that's like, well, why is this in here? Randomly.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I don't need to know
That
about
that's
your.
what
Yeah.
always bothered me is like I'd be like really into it and someone just throws something random in there and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
uh,
And then we can
yeah.
go back. Sorry.
No, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Then we can go back and add in the Easter eggs, basically, of like, because like so many of us at the beginning were hiding things from each other because we didn't know each other yet. We can go back and add those things in and like give little hints to things that'll happen in the future, since
Yeah.
we know pretty much who our characters are at this point fairly
Mhm.
well.
Yeah. Yep. We'll be able to kind of tie in things because everything's basically been a first draft, and we don't really go back and fix stuff. Like we can fix stuff like that day, like if something happens that day and we're like, oh wait, hang
Mhm.
on, let me edit this post real fast, like that didn't make sense. And usually that's it. That's the most editing that we do. We don't go back, oh, 10 days ago I did this and this was wrong, or at this
Mhm.
point 5 months ago I did this wrong, and we don't go back. But now we are going back and we have to look through it all, and we want to make sure that it flows because it's a really good story. We just
Mhm.
need to present it in a presentable way that people actually understand what is going on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we need to take it from rough draft to at least first draft.
That's
So,
right. Yeah, that's a good way of saying it. Super rough draft to
mhm.
a lesser rough draft. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's what kind of what we do. We might just have a short podcast tonight, just because
Mhm.
that's okay. Like we've been trying to put stuff out in our other ones. The last podcast, for example, really shows what we do at the very beginning. Like I shared my screen so you could see what goes on in our
Mhm.
server, so people can join us there if they want to be a part of it. You don't even have to have a creative character. You can just jump in and be like,
Mhm.
I just want to interact and ask like for a drink from the bartender or whatever, like things like that.
Oh, I mean, while we were talking, someone was trying to figure out what my large squirrel's up to. I mean, it's active right now.
Mhm.
And it's 1 a.m. for me. I'm assuming that's about maybe 10 p.m. over in
Mhm.
West Coast, but
Yep.
still late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, come check out the server. We're still figuring out. I think we were talking about maybe making it a private server eventually that you'd have to like maybe even join our Patreon to come in because there's people that do that on
Mhm.
Patreon. Um, we've been just bouncing off ideas of how to make this a business, I guess, in a way where
Yeah.
it's like we can write as writers and be these entertainers. Just it's hard to do it because it's not a podcast. It's not. We're talking about what we talk about. Like it's like how do you show that without having a live stream of the words every second of every day, and you just can't. Like we can't show you.
You have to have people act it out.
Mm-hmm.
But even
Mhm.
that's weird, just voice only.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's difficult to do.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Because, I mean, you got to think what we present, like, we're able to go, since it's text based, we can go into a little bit more detail than people sitting at a table.
Mm-hmm.
Because people sitting at a table, I mean, I don't do it as far as my characters, but I know basically everyone else. They'll like give a little bit more insight into the thought process of their characters. And the only reason I don't do it is because I'm basically the bad guy. So I have a
Mhm.
reason not to,
Mm-hmm.
but everyone's able to give actually more information without actually, I don't know, being intrusive about it or breaking the fourth or third wall. I don't really even know what it would be if you start monologuing to yourself at a table with your
Mm-hmm.
friends, because I feel like that would just be insane. I'd probably walk away if someone started doing that. It'd be scary.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you can do it in text. It's fine. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. That's a great point because some people I think are gonna like what we do because it builds confidence, right? You're not sitting at a table with people looking at you waiting for you to do your turn, and you better hurry up because you got to know your character sheet, or it's like, oh, the pressures that might come up aren't there. And it also allows you to write a story and take your time thinking about how you would do something. Like for me, I play a wizard, a mage that enjoys the creativity of how to cast a spell rather than just saying, I cast a spell magic. Like she puts out her right hand palm up with the fingers out, and then she'll slowly curl them towards her and then bend her elbow towards her hip, and so it like pulls something invisible as she casts a spell magic, which is something that you don't always see in a normal session because everyone, again, is waiting for you to just do your turn.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
not really interested in that, right? Like, they're not like, wait, can you just describe like more? Like, no, like no one really does that. Like they're just like, okay, what do you do now? Like, what's your turn? Is that your turn?
Yeah. Like in my campaigns, I always try to like make the optimal 10-second turn where I again
Yes.
take my turn in 10 seconds where it's like, okay, I cast mass healing word on you, and then I cast mass healing word on them, and then I take the dodge action and move 30 feet south, end of turn.
And
Like-
That's so what
and
I
the
do.
thing
I just
is-
realized. Like I try to be
But
fast.
the thing is, if you don't do that, though, you can start seeing it on everyone else's faces, and they're like, "Come on, hurry up!"
Yes.
'Cause
Exactly.
Everyone, because everyone,
Mhm.
they had to drive over there and get together and take time out of their day.
Mhm.
It's an actual, like, it's an event,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
this isn't. So it takes a lot of the pressure off, and you can relax. Or
Yeah.
at least that's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Because I
Mhm.
mean, I haven't been active in the last couple months very much, but I'm still, I'm still here. So
Mhm. Yeah.
play when you want to play, and that's the best part about it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. You could just have a character come in for literally one post, and people do that because they just want to play just a little bit, and they don't have a lot of time, and maybe they're not
Mm-hmm.
sure of how it's going to be received, so they'll just have a character come in and leave in the exact same post, and that's totally fine. They've added to the story, and they're happy. They're excited to show a little bit of who they are, and that's kind of why we built this, so that people can write how they want to write. Like
Right.
Mhm.
Like, it also just adds a whole lot of shenanigans into characters. Like, you don't have to write in, like, oh yeah, they're going to talk to this person first. This is going to be like, this is going to be a really easy way to, like, show off a little bit of their personality. Like, no, that's lame.
mhm.
Like, here you can tell what a person is like based on just how they do things. Like, just being able to describe spells just makes characters a lot more personable.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember, like, pretty much every D&D campaign I've talked to, like, everybody just sees allies as allies, and I don't really like that. They see characters as just pieces of paper,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
it's just like, I don't like that personally. Where it's just like, okay, yeah, this person is trying to figure out how to describe what I'm saying.
This person, I think I know what you're talking about. This person is a cleric, so
Yeah,
they
this
must
person
do
is
this and heal this person, and this person. This is the barbarian. They need to be up front and go
not
tanking.
particularly. Like, it's
But-
just, oh yeah,
Mhm.
this person is a chaotic neutral artificer. This means that they will probably be doing this kind of thing. Like, their personality is kind of like this, and
Mhm.
Mhm.
you only really get personality in in RP sections, and even then, like, RP sections only go so far because you're only interacting with each other,
Yeah.
and like you still have to have the DM upvote things. Like,
Yeah.
upvote is a really bad way. Like, you have to just make sure everything is a-okay for the campaign. You can't say, hey, how about you and I, we're gonna go on to like a super secret, like,
Yeah.
we're gonna go on an adventure, like, I'll see you guys later, peace out, see you in a month.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's literally something that you can't do at a table.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, there's so many side quests going on that
Yeah, like,
it's
Mhm.
amazing, because it's like, oh, you're the only two that are active, but you two can still play together.
Yep.
yeah, like,
And
at a
That's pretty
table,
cool.
you have pretty much the
God,
story,
if
the
you, if
quest line the DM set out, and you have to follow it. And like, if you deviate from that, you are deemed chaotic, stupid, and
well, I
promptly
mean,
smited.
I wouldn't say that, but if you, my thing as a DM is, if you split the party, you're an asshole. Because
Right.
then literally you got to take turns waiting on each other.
Mhm.
That was like I didn't care if you deviated from my story, but you do not. I was like, you do not split the party, because people get bored,
Yeah.
But online,
Mhm.
online. I mean, you split the party every second, like
All the
just
time. Yeah.
logging in, logging off. So
yeah.
like, it's not even a thing, really.
Mhm.
Right.
Yep.
And another thing is, like, the way spells are cast. Like, the way Saranth casts Cure Wounds is either with a salve that I think I described it that crackles faintly with the electricity, or a fucking knife. He just fucking jabs you and it heals you.
Yes.
Like, yeah, it
So
works a lot
intense.
with him. But with other characters, it's like faint white healing magic that touches your skin and licks it with warm, fuzzy energy that makes you feel good and heals your wounds over time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, that speaks about the character.
Yep.
Another thing, it could be like just magic bandages. They wrap it around you, it heals you, perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
Toxidol has his unique way of casting cure wounds,
Yes.
and it all just like meshes together.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole, like in Toxidol's campaign, we don't really get the whole fuckery that I can describe here.
Yeah, the tox is
Like in the last session, we were in a chase sequence that I absolutely put the fucking brakes on because I cast plant growth.
Oh.
Yeah, plant growth and spike growth divides movement speed by 8.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is pain, but I digress.
Don't you actually get pain, like you take damage every 5 foot squares that you go through? Is it that one?
That's with spike growth. No, I cast plant growth, which is the plants in a 100-foot radius become overgrown, and the main attraction of that spell is being able to divide movement by 4. Like, every foot of movement costs 4 feet of movement.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to spend 20 feet of movement to move 1 tile, which is amazing. So I cast that spell, and to the party, it's just plant growth. That's what it is. Because I cast plant growth, so plants grow. I can't describe it at all. Like, it just willed itself into existence because there's, like, a time limit, and we have to, like... this is a game, not a story. But here I could describe what plant growth actually would look like.
Yes.
And you'd have to have him do that because I am not going to tell you about it here. Like, all of this,
That's gonna be cool.
I will come up with something for all of his spells on the spot if I haven't come up with anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
So just try getting Tox to cast spells because I want to talk to you. I want to show it off.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to get him to cast spells. And the answer lies within the Silver Queen's manor.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What I've enjoyed with this server is being able to tell a story even if no one is interacting, because sometimes you just want your character to just go meditate or whatever and like have kind of a longer post, which you've done that more than me, and I've seen you do it, and that inspired me to be like, oh, I should do that more, you know. And so like there was one day a long time ago that I had Elena was like going through all of the classes that are in 5e and like being like, what are these really, like, you know, who are these people, and just having kind of that identity crisis that really characters might have if it was a real world where it was like all these different powerful beings are around you, right? And they all can do certain things because of their classes. But yeah. So yeah, it's fun to be able to write a story how we want to and have others see it, which is just really special.
I think I actually have a way to kind of describe what we're doing. And I don't know, it just came to me a little bit ago. But I think what we're doing is kind of a living book.
Yeah.
is
Definitely.
like the best way I think we can really describe it, is because of like how much detail we can go into describing things and what characters say and things like that, and what we're planning is just a living book. I believe is the best one that I could come up with.
Mm-hmm. Yep. A live action book that you can jump in and stuff's going on, and it's part of a story now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great.
While we're sitting here talking, I'm thinking I'm about to get attacked.
Oh, 100% you are.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm just waiting for it.
Yeah, Kagog and Nikolai or
Where's is Amu whatever, is she still in the post office? Because they said it was empty.
they did close the
Uh,
doors, so
But
let me
as
she
far as
never
I
left.
as far as I know, yes, but I haven't been paying too much attention for the past few days.
here's what it says. Okay. She I think cast word of recall. I think that's what happened here.
Yeah,
She took a
yeah.
deep
She cast Word of Recall.
Okay,
She's in her
yeah.
temple right now.
She's gone. She's out of there. Yeah. So it says, taking a
Oh.
deep breath in, the woman closes her eyes with a gentle hum. A light encompasses the two of them, and just like that, they were gone. And then the post office is completely empty. So, yep.
Well, that's funny because
Yep.
my character definitely doesn't know that.
Yeah, just look through the window.
He's gotta wait for another scrying to get another drop on her.
Oh man. She's gonna scry on Ashok again too. That's gonna be the funniest thing. She is so gonna use it again. Of
Yeah,
all the
when she uses
spells.
it again, she's gonna start getting harassed.
Oh, great. Well, you know what? That's just how it goes sometimes. You take items from some mysterious person.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta learn. Like, maybe that's a bad idea, you know?
Yep.
So yeah, yep.
Yeah.
She'll just learn on her own. That's character growth.
Yep. It's a bad idea to pick up random items.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, she got an artifact for free.
Mhm.
You can't just get one for free.
I
That's
mean, you
fair.
can if it's not a good artifact.
It's true. It
That
depends on
is
the
true.
artifact.
I've definitely given my players my first actual campaign was I gave my players an artifact they had to defend, but they couldn't use it. So yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we'll see. Clerics have, I don't know if they have identify.
I think they do.
Maybe they do.
No, I'm pretty sure that's just a wizard. I'll look it up here in a
Look
sec,
it up.
but
Yeah, check it.
I'm pretty
I'm
sure
looking it
that.
up right now.
Do it.
Artificers, bards, and wizards.
Yeah. It's like that's an arcane spell.
Why the hell would
Knowledge
bards
clerics,
know how to
knowledge
identify
clerics, and
stuff?
forge clerics get
Forge
hit
Bards
as well.
just know how to sing. That don't make sense.
Bards, I love.
I mean, bards like
okay. So here's
I
how
feel like a warlock makes more sense than a bard.
But like, here's how bards would cast identify: is they would probably like have some sort of like notebook that they've had because of like the jack of all trades skill of like how many things they've heard about, and like they would maybe like flip through that. It's like, oh yeah, I've heard about this before, and then that's why they can identify.
I would think like I think the way bards work is that their song manipulates reality. So I think the way it would work is that they would just like strum notes, see how it reacts, and then note it down, and just trial and error keep it until they narrow it down to something that they already know about.
Well, so here's the way identify works. Even if it's an artifact, it tells you how to use and attune to that artifact. That's a powerful spell, even though it's like a level 2.
Level
Like,
Level
1.
1.
Level
Level
okay,
1
yeah, that's
ritual
even
spell.
even
Whoa, ritual
crazier,
spell.
even crazier in reality.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's like, okay, a bard can do that, but it's like warlocks get power from a not
Patron,
I guess
yeah.
an evil god in reality.
A patron.
Yeah, a
We
patron.
prefer the term
And
patron.
then paladins get it from, a deity. Same thing basically.
Yeah.
Why can't they identify? Like, those gods have a lot more sway in knowing what, a stick does on a planet than,
Just take a
you
dip in
know,
wizard.
I'm just putting that out there
Mhm.
as something to
Yeah.
contemplate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think identify should if it I think it should I just think it should be available for all the magic classes, really.
Well, it technically is available for every class because you can get it in the ritual feat, and since identify is a ritual spell.
You can, yeah, warlock can do it as ritual for free. That is true.
Yep. Or like if you really wanted to, you could have it as a barbarian or a fighter and do it that way because
That'd be funny.
you know the ritual. So
Yeah.
Mhm. Fantastic.
Wait, some dude's asking the squirrel something. You gotta tell me the language first, dude.
I'm guessing it's common because he hasn't specified anything else.
Chitter,
Yeah,
chitter chatter, chitter chatter.
Yeah, my dude does
Squeak,
not know
squeak, squeak,
common,
squeak.
so that's not gonna work.
Mhm. Yeah, it's all right. We'll figure it out. Or they don't have to. Anyway.
Mhm.
I mean, we came together as a group just because we were able to work so well.
yeah.
But it wasn't like, all right, we're forcing ourselves to work together just because we're in a campaign. It just ended up being that way, which is
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
what
And the
we
best
could-
part,
Yeah.
You had to
the
kill
best part,
Krill, you evil fucks.
I'll do
no,
it again.
I didn't kill Krill.
It
I
was
didn't kill
merciful.
Krill.
It was merciful. He was
The
trapped.
best part is that you're allowed to hate people.
The best part is I don't know if you guys know why you needed to kill him. Or if you needed
I
to.
think it freed him.
Did you ever need to get rid of Krill, really?
It was
Bring him back.
good either way.
I mean,
Either he was suffering or he was freaking evil and needed to be stopped. Either way, it was merciful.
he's still around and he seems pretty happy, so I can't say your call was wrong.
Mhm.
But then again, did we really kill him or just
right?
transform him?
I know.
Oh,
yeah.
you definitely killed him. Yeah, no, he was killed and he was brought back. Casserole brought him back. He said that.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
Like
right.
Casserole, warlocks, I don't think they can resurrect normally, but
I
Not
don't think
unless
I
you get
can.
really high up there.
yeah,
I mean, I don't even think.
assuming we same deities, I'm gonna
Yeah.
make an exception to the rule.
Make a pact.
Mhm.
Make a pact with your
Yeah,
patron.
yeah.
I don't even think that's. I don't even think it's possible for a warlock to resurrect unless you're a genie and cast a wish or lesser wish.
Yeah, like it's probably
Celestial?
not, but
Lesser wish.
I haven't checked, but I would say it wouldn't surprise me if Celestials. No, I think they get true resurrection.
They get revivify, and that's it.
No, let me look.
Yeah.
They get cure wounds, guiding bolt,
the
flaming
one that
sphere.
Catherine would need would be like the best of the best. No matter how long they've been dead, you can make a new body for them and they come back. Because, Krill's been dead a very long time. Well, he wasn't dead a long time, but he has been trapped. Okay, you know what? Never mind. Maybe not. I don't really know how that would work, honestly. Maybe it's not worth going into.
I would say it was like, so that way you don't have to confirm anything. I would say he was probably trapped in the dagger for the long time, and maybe Catherall just had to go somewhere and get him, basically, and then he can still
So
do
like,
his own
yeah,
thing.
so he was the way the items were is they were basically not I don't know. They were bonded with the items. So their bodies were just, I guess, disposed of or put in limbo. And then, their souls were bound to the items.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you guys killed Krill, or basically destroying the dagger, he did die. But he was only dead for a short amount of time before he was brought back. So I guess that, I don't know, because the body was gone for a super long time, but he was only dead for not long. So it's a weird situation, but either way, a warlock shouldn't be able to do it. So
No.
Yeah,
it's
the
still a weird caveat that was addressed in a way, but off scenes.
Yeah, he just knew the proper ritual, we could say.
Yeah, I think the only
I mean, I know it hasn't been brought up, but I mean, Cathrall's been, or before he died, he was going around everywhere melting over and over, and there was a purpose for that. So it might come up later. That's the only reason I bring it up.
okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, the only way a warlock can resurrect is with Celestials Revivify or Genie Wish.
Mm-mm.
Yep.
Again, like we talked in the last stream, I don't like Wish. It's bad.
It's not a good spell.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm gonna cast Wish.
Yeah, like it's more because you have a 33% chance of never being able to cast Wish ever again, ever, unless if you use any part about it, like literally anything except for its ability to replicate spells. Like, including the ability to replicate spells. Like, I think Wish should be separated into 2 effects or 2 spells. The ability to replicate spells is just like Wish, and then you like Diet Wish, and you have like Super Wish.
I believe Pathfinder has that.
Yeah, good.
Pathfinder has something. I know Pathfinder has like 2 versions of Wish, and one is like a lesser and a greater, like you said. But I just,
yeah,
I have
the lesser Wish in this game is specifically the Genie Warlock Capstone, and you get to do it. You get to replicate a 6th level spell once every 1d4 long rests. That's it. It's still really good because you can replicate Resurrection, you can replicate Scrying, you can replicate a lot of spells. Like, yeah, there are loads of spells that Lesser Wish could do great things with, but the actual Wish spell that like wizards get, it's bad. Fuck Wish.
Oh, Pathfinder Wish is only available for sorcerers and wizards.
Yeah, I mean that's the same thing for 5e, but you just have to be a warlock to get Wish. You have to be a
Yeah.
bard, because bards can choose wish as a magical secret spell, and scrolls if you are a rogue or fighter, or arcane trickster, or wish.
There we go. Pathfinder, in and of itself, is just way more powerful than 5e. For example, in 5e, a wizard can only get one 9th level spell slot, I believe. In Pathfinder, like when they get up to like level 20, in Pathfinder, I think it's like 4 a day that you can get.
Yeah, you can get loads of 9th level slots.
Yeah, which is like, dang. Duplicate spells. But it's expensive. You actually have to pay for it. So it says, like, when wish duplicates a spell with material component that costs more than 10,000 gold pieces, you must provide that component in addition to the 25,000 gold piece diamond component for this spell. So wish is expensive.
Well,
mean,
so
yeah.
here at the end of the day, here's the biggest thing that D&D comes down to. It's how common is gold. If the DM makes gold common, wish is cheap, as well as every other spell, magic and items, they're commonplace. Now, if gold is rare and hard to come by, then the world changes. It's all about the amount of gold in the world, really.
Yeah. And the
Or
inverse is the case
the
for
entire universe, really.
the inverse is the case for 5e wish, since you can just conjure 25,000 gold pieces of gold.
Well, I mean, you do have that chance of not being able to cast it, so.
But then again, if 25,000 gold pieces is like 1,000 lifetimes worth of money, then it doesn't really matter much.
Oh, I know. But there's the case where if you're doing that, if you're at the level where you're able to do that, you probably already have enough money where you shouldn't be doing that.
And you can probably just do it in an easier way.
Yeah.
With like lesser spells.
It's called limited wish. That's the other version of wish in Pathfinder.
Perfect. There you go. I don't know. It's all up to like a DM's discretion. Really, anything that happens is all up to the DM. Can you convince them? Because you could even say a wish, and they might be like, "How do you word this exactly?" And then if you don't word it exactly correctly, or they want to add in some type of conflict, they can because of how things are worded. Which is what I try to do. When I mean, I haven't really played Wish well, but if there is something that would be wished, it's like you gotta say it right, otherwise it's not gonna work the way you want. There will be a consequence.
Smart players use it for information.
There you go. Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, can't go wrong with information if you word it right. Like, yeah, it just ruins campaigns.
There you go. That's right.
Yeah.
Will this work? What will work? Yeah, yeah. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, come check out our Discord if you want to write a story and you want to do it with other people that are like-minded and are similar-minded that want to write as well.
Do we have like an exit theme yet?
Yeah. Mortem.
Oh, okay. We don't have like a song per se,
Yeah.
but
Improv. No.
yeah, I can take us out if we're done.
Yeah.
All right. Well then, thank you to whoever watched, if anybody watched this tonight. Thank you for being here. All that. I'm tired today. Thank you for being here and all that fun stuff. Memento mori.
Memento mori.
Memento mori.
Yeah, I don't say that I'm not part of the.
You're not part of
You don't
our
have to
cult.
be.
I'm not
Zaranth
part of
is
the monastery,
I'm
so
technically
Zaranth
not
is
either.
neither is Zaranth, but he says it. It's just a thing that we say at the end
yeah.
of the podcast.
Well, I mean, he's
I say it
closer to
because you
being
say
part
it.
of it than me, so
I say it because you say
I'm
it, and I don't know what I should be saying.
I'm in direct opposition. I don't want to give away my game.
Oh no. Catherall has a room in the monastery. What are you talking about?
True, he does.
He's got a purple door room.
Catherall's dead. I don't know what you're talking about.
Is he? I can't. All right. We're ending this. Good night.
Okay.